5 steps to remove yourself from sales calls and scale your business. As you can see, I'm excited and I'm obsessed with sales systems as well. And I'm really liking this guy I'm about to work with. I trust him, I want to work with him. And then next minute, he just starts selling to me, pulling up a slideshow. I'm sitting there watching, going through this, knowing I'm being sold to. It will increase your close rate, it will buy back your time, it will reduce the call time, and it will increase your short rate. Alright guys, welcome back to another video today with Work-Life Unbalanced, where we talk about everything to do with scaling and growing a service business online. Today I'm going to show you the 5 steps to remove yourself from sales calls and scale your business. You can actually focus on growing revenue, and these tactics and tricks themselves are exactly what we use in our own business. We've helped other businesses install these systems as well, but I'm going to show you very quickly the 5 steps to actually do this, and it will increase your close rate, it will buy back your time, it'll reduce the call time, and it will increase your short rate. So it sounds like a win-win on all sides, but I'm going to break down the actual system itself, how it works, and when you see it, you'll be like, this makes sense, I need to apply this to my service business. It works for both online and in person. We've got a gym, a physical location in person. We use the same system for people turning up to gym tours, and actually booking in, buying memberships, so we don't have to have a full sales team. We just have receptionists that are able to have a great conversation with them and they convert. And the same for our online coaching business as well, where we scaled to over 250 plus active members, full team of coaches doing delivery. We had a setter, I was doing sales, and this process brought back a lot of my time, halved the sales calls, increased my close rate a lot as well. And you'll see how this increases short rates too. So let's get straight to it. I'm going to walk you through the system, and it's a very nice framework so you can remember it. It's how to clone yourself. So if you're a service business owner, a founder of a service business, I can tell you so many stories of when I felt the pain of being able to start to scale up and delegate, different parts of the processes of running a business, where you've got customer success, you've got customer support, you've got setters to do part of the sales process, you're doing all your content, you may be using paid ads, you've got the traffic on lock, you've got the delivery down with your team, depending on what you actually deliver. But one of the key parts that people really struggle is, number one, because they're expensive. If you're trying to hire closers straight away without a system, number one, it's expensive because your close rate will go through the roof. It'll tank, it'll go to the ground because you haven't got a system in place. But number two, they cost a lot of money as well. They're the most expensive people to hire if you want good people that can do this job. And it's just a key constraint. You're stuck in that business. You're the key man risk. Very hard to remove yourself and still have a good front end first experience for that customer. If you want your business's reputation to be good, you don't want to be stuck in an extremely salesy person on the front end that's heavily commission focused. They got commission breath, they could smell all over you, they just want to take your money. That's not what you want. So you want a genuine, authentic system that speaks for your brand, and it works really well, and it's able to scale you out of it. You either remove yourself entirely, where you can bring in a team that is able to then fulfill the role, or you just buy back your time. If you're a solopreneur, you just run a service business as yourself, as like a fitness coach, then you can just spend a lot less time doing sales calls, having just genuine, authentic conversations instead, and they convert a lot more. So you no longer get the question of, how does this work for me? How much does this cost? What are your packages? Blah, blah, blah. All the repetitive stuff, we teach you how to sort that out with the system. So let's get straight to it. And as you can see, I'm excited and I'm obsessed with sales systems as well. And we've just gone through, if you want to know how many videos we've done so many videos. This is the second sheet now we're going through. So this is a fresh new sheet, and I'm going to walk you through the system. So let's go through it. 5 steps. Let's see how quickly we can do it without me rambling. So step number 1 is to capture the actual process on the call. So a lot of you, if you're selling, you may not know it. You probably are already a good salesperson naturally, right? If you're a business owner, you probably have a lot of different hats that you wear, a lot of different traits and key skills that you've got, that you've picked up to be able to even scale this to a point where it's a business in the first place, right? If you're a PT on the gym floor, a coach, you've probably got good people skills. You speak to people. You don't realize you're covering a lot of these processes naturally, which a salesperson would know how to do, and they'd know the tricks you're using, and you're probably subconsciously doing it because you don't even realize it. So first of all, it's to really capture and analyze the sales process you currently operate with, because I'm not a fan of ripping up something that's working and starting in a completely new system. I want you to analyze what you've already got first. What questions do you usually ask on calls? Like, just start by recording the calls as the best place to start, and analyzing word for word the script. When you look at the transcript with AI, you can use something like Firefly as an AI tool that we've used in the past, and it records calls and it breaks down an analysis of all the questions that's been asked on the call, so you can be even lazier with AI and do it that way as well. So first of all, look at your calls. If you want to analyze the last 5 or the last 10 or the next 5 or the next 10, do that first, right? Before you start to apply a new system, you need to look at what's already working in your business. And this is the first step to improving it, because what is measured can be improved. What isn't measured can't be improved. Next step then is label the repetitiveness, okay? So this is how you're going to clone yourself, remove yourself from the business, or from this key sales process. Label the repetitiveness, because whatever is repeated can be automated. We live in a world where technology is just going through the roof. It's crazy how quick things are moving. It's hard to keep up with AI. I'm sure you feel the same way. But there are tools out there, even before AI, that you can repeat and automate a lot of things anyway, right? A lot of these AI systems, these AI wrappers and tools out there these days are just leveraging AI and the language models, but they're still using the typical workflow automations that already existed prior to AI. So a lot of this stuff can be repetitive, but I'm not talking about setting up, automated messages and email sequences. We'll get to that point. This is just looking at the pillars of your conversation. So the way I like to analyze sales calls is I like to look at the pillars that I've gone through. So for example, I will know that when I get on a fitness call with a prospect, I will go through, first of all, what are they struggling with? What are the problems they think they have? Then we dive into the problems that I say that I think you actually have this problem here. Then we go into the deep pain points as to why they want this goal in the first place. So there's like certain things I know I have to get to. I have to get to a deep enough problem before I then start to explain, what the solution might be. And we've got 18 steps that we actually go through, like 18 pillars that we have to go through. If we do not cover those 18 pillars, number one, I know the close rate will not be as high as it could be. But number two, you've just got a much higher chance of losing that sale because you haven't gone through the correct system, the correct pillars on a call. And this isn't a salesy system. This is just, when you look at it and analyze it, if you haven't ticked off these things that might be in your prospect's mind, then they might have room to say, I need to think about it, because you haven't covered what they need to subconsciously. Okay, so the pillars are just analyzing what I already do. So after you've captured what you already do, now you analyze and you label what's repetitive. So what I mean by what's repetitive, is on a one-to-one. If me and you were to sit down and have a live, I was to invite you to Zoom, we were to jump on Zoom, what am I doing on that Zoom call that doesn't even need you to be there? What am I doing that's you're not even responding to? You could have watched this previously in a video, basically, is what I'm getting at. And a lot of this comes down to the pitch. So when it comes down to a call, right, a sales call, traditionally you've got 3 parts to a sales call. You've got the discovery process, you've got the pitch, and you've got the close. So the pitch and the close is obviously going to be a little bit of back and forth, but it should be straightforward if you've done everything on the front end of the call correctly. But the pitch, the middle part, is usually the part where people pull up a slideshow, they pull up a presentation, or if they don't do that, they've got something memorized in their head where they explain their service or their offer, and they pitch it to the prospect. Now, this can sometimes take 10, 15, 20 to 30 minutes long, depending on the size of the pitch. I've sat through these calls before where I've got on for a nice, exciting one-to-one call. The first part of the call has been great, 20 to 30 minutes long. We're having a great conversation. I'm really liking this guy I'm about to work with. I trust him. I want to work with him. And then next minute, he just starts selling to me, pulling up a slideshow. I'm sitting there watching, going through this, knowing I'm being sold to. And I'm like, at this point, if I really want to just go with it anyway, I'm like, just tell me what it is and I'll go ahead with it. Or if I'm really not interested, when they're going through this whole pitch, I'm like, I just want to get off this call and I know I'm not going to buy. So I believe, and from the data, from what we've done with our business as well, that if you remove this part, which I'll talk about in a bit, it can be automated. It can be, whatever is repeated can be automated. So don't bore the person, the prospect that's turning up to the live one-to-one call. Number one, it's a waste of your time because you're repeating yourself over and over and over again. So it's draining on you. And what happens when you repeat something and it becomes boring? You start to do it with much less quality and less care, and you forget the importance of some parts. You start to leave them out. So what we need to do is look at everything that you would traditionally cover on your best sales call ever that always converts. Then we label everything that's repetitive, and then this is the great part. So the next part is offloading. So this is when we offload everything that's repetitive. So the pitch 100% can be removed, and not only that, it can be improved. Right, that rhymed. I didn't even mean for it to rhyme. The way we improve this is, think of Apple with Steve Jobs. Every single year what he would do is he would basically get up in a presentation and he would just present this device in how much thought has gone into the words he's going to use when he presents this pitch, right? Now, if I said to you, right, you've got to do one pitch on every single call, so you may be taking 10 to 15 calls a week, and you've got to do this every week for the rest of the year, how poor do you think your pitch will actually be? Because it's so repetitive and it's so, you can even see the person's face the other side of the Zoom call. They're just bored and they're like, I want to just speak to you, I want to have a conversation with you, I don't want to just be pitched to. When you just take a step back and you think, right, if I was to just create one professional presentation and make it the best possible presentation, the most exciting, the most entertaining, the most engaging, and just straight up value that people are going to be sitting there and actually, like, I'm learning a lot through this. It's answering all my questions before the call of, what packages are involved, how does this work, what is the process, why do I need it, does it solve my problem, does it work for me? All these questions that you're going to get, instead of answering them specifically, you can answer them for your dream client, your target audience, in a one professional pitch. And we call it the Welcome Pack VSL, because we literally created a welcome pack. I was looking around then because we've got a physical copy for the gym, and we have this welcome pack where I present it as the founder, the face of the business. They see me on all the content, so now they get more time with me before they get on a call, and this is going to be the key to removing yourself. So you offload that into creating, so you don't get rid of it completely, you just put it into a automated professional video. And then where is it placed? This is the next question. The nurture sequence. So we actually call this, another name for this is the show up sequence, right? And the reason I call it the show up sequence is because it improves show up rates. So if you've ever advertised through paid media, through paid advertising, you realize that compared to organic, so organic is just posting to your followers, the people that already love you, follow you, trust you, that's a much warmer audience. So when they book a call with you, they already know you, they respect your time, they're going to turn up most of the time. Your show up rate shouldn't even be a problem with organic. However, when you switch to paid advertising, you will notice that it's a much colder audience. They don't know you, they don't trust you, they don't really care about you, they don't know who you are. So the show up rates massively tank. When they book a call with you, they do it on a whim, right? And they're not really that invested in you yet. They don't really care about you. They're not warmed up at all. They're very cold. So if something comes up, if they can't even be asked that day when the call is due, they just cancel. They don't even let you know. They don't even cancel sometimes. So this helps massively with show up rates, because what we do, obviously we have a show up sequence with email and SMS. So we have texts and email alerts, but it's very cleverly designed with a lot of case studies, a lot of proof, everything you need to warm that person up. But the one thing that's plugged in here is whatever we offload. So anything from the pitch, anything from the call that you're doing that's important but it's repeated, is offloaded into a professional video and is plugged into this nurture sequence. So this nurture sequence is then sent to them, and it's a must-watch video before the call. And it's designed to make sure that every single person that turns up to your call is at the same stage. So when they turn up to that call, they're no longer at the point of, they could be cold, some of them, and then some of them are come from organic and they're really warm and they trust you and they want to buy anyway. It's designed to bring everyone up to speed. It's designed to bring everyone up to the same stage where they join the call, they understand what you do, who you are, why it works, why they need it, why they need to work with you right now, why they can't wait, what packages are involved. They know, they have an idea of the pricing and they're ready to buy. Basically, that's what it does. So that's what we do with the nurture sequence, and it massively increases show up rates because, number one, the show up sequence we've got is designed to just make people trust you and ready to buy for you. And they show up because they respect you a lot more. They find out more about you through that nurture sequence, so they're more likely to turn up, okay? So that's going to improve your show up rates, and the video is going to boost that even further. Then the next stage is finally, which is what you want to do. You want to clone yourself, you want to remove yourself, or reduce your time on sales calls so you're able to finally exit. So if you're trying to build a scalable business and eventually exit from the business, you have to figure this out right now. And this is the first step in doing that, right? So yes, you may think, from your mind, if you know how important people are in a business, company is literally a collection of people. So if you're trying to build a company, you need people. So you might think, oh, great, I just need to hire closers and hire setters. Take it from me, someone that's tried to do that. The hardest thing you can do, or the worst thing you can do, is do that without a system in place. Build the system first, because you're already doing it. You don't realize you're operating with a system if you're the one taking calls, and you've got a good close rate. Not just because you're the founder, because you've got a good system in place that you don't realize yet. Go through this process, set up the system, and then you'll be able to finally move one step closer. You either go two ways, right? The two options you've got. If you want to be just a solopreneur, you just reduce your time. So you reduce your time now that you need to do on calls. Some people no longer even need the call in place because this takes care of everything for them. You've removed everything. You've basically created a professional pitch, and you can reduce your time from sales calls. So you no longer need to do that pitch. It saves 10 to 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes, whatever your pitch time is taken, it removes it completely. And you're able to move forwards to reducing your time on calls. So you've got more time focusing on growing the business, actually doing what you love, which is delivery maybe. If you're a solopreneur now and it's only you doing the service that you're offering. But if you're trying to build a team, then you want to remove yourself entirely. You don't want to be chained to sales, so remove. You don't want to be chained to sales, right? And I had this problem with one of my friends that I worked with who's building a massive accountancy business. He's up to over 40 people in his team now. But even with 40 people, 40 staff, he was still stuck doing these sales calls, especially for the people that he really wanted to take on, right? Because he was a key man, the face of the business, the almighty, and the guy that had all this respect and authority. And obviously when he gets on a call with people, he closes them pretty much every time because they respect him. He's able to shower them with knowledge without realizing it on the call. And he's very good at going through a typical salesy/close process without it being salesy, because he's just a naturally good salesperson, without realizing it. So he's very good at speaking to people, and he's just very good at what he does. However, right, with this process that you're trying to remove yourself from right now, if you're the founder of that business, it's not going to be a sellable business. It's not going to be as valuable as it could be if you're still stuck as a key man risk in that sales process. And the quicker you systemize, and you probably know the importance of systems, build clear SOPs in place to just manage these people that come in, that's when you're able to think about scaling. But this is the first step. This is the first step to building the system that you need to then bring in the people to deliver it for you. Because just like anything else, you need setters, you need closers in this sales system. But without the system to follow, they're going to come in and think, I can't just figure this whole thing out on my own. And again, we went through that process when we tried to do it ourselves, brought them in without a clear system and rules to follow. And obviously their close rate was nowhere near what ours was, because we were following this system without us realizing. We just had it in our brains because we'd done it for so long. And we knew what to do and what to say and what works. So systemize everything. This is the way to clone yourself. Follow this framework. If you want to know the exact framework to build, not just the nurture sequence and the show up sequence, but the actual welcome pack VSL, the framework, that video I talked about, that pitch, then the link's going to be below, and you can grab the framework. You can grab the G sheets we use to work with AI with our prompt. You can use ChatGPT. You can build it out for your service. There's also going to be sheets there to help you with your target audience, refining that and refining your offer as well. So all those things are just going to be there for you if you want to click the link below, and you can start to build this video. But I hope this helps. It's all about scaling and building a service business online. So make sure you subscribe to the channel if you like this kind of stuff. We're doing it alongside you. We're growing as well. So anything you need, just anything you're interested in, comment below, and I'll keep on videos out like this every single day. So thank you, and I'll see you soon.